Indeed. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes, this is the caller by the name of Jason Rouse.
Who are you, Jason Rouse?
I am a comedian from the city of Hamilton, Ontario, currently making my home in London, England.
Welcome to the Nardwuar Human Serviette radio show.
Thank you.
You're also talking right here to Leora Kornfeld, who's been helping me out today on the Nardwuar Human Serviette radio show. Leora, meet Jason.
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
I'm good, Leora.
Now, Leora...
Nardwuar treating you.
Well, you know.
Well, Leora actually has a question to you because you say you're from England. You've been living in England. Leora lived in South London and has always talked to me about South London. Right, Leora?
Yes, in 1999 and 2000, I attended University of London. I went to graduate school there, and I ended up in kind of a mean streets area of the city. Are you familiar with SE14, Jason?
That is a postcode district, isn't it?
Yeah, New Cross would be the nearest tube station. Did you ever do any gigs down there at Goldsmiths College?
I've done some gigs in that area. It's dodgy, as they would say.
It is. Dodgy is being charitable. It is downright scary. So what area have you done gigs in, or what clubs around there?
All over England, Scotland, Ireland, all over the UK.
The thing that Leora always brings up is these weird police tape things, right, Leora?
Well,
what were you
it's
talking
the
about?
yellow signs in the New Cross area, and Jason will know this when you get off the tube at New Cross or New Cross Gate, and you notice those yellow signs that basically say, somebody was murdered here, do you have any information? You know the ones I mean,
They have full-on billboards. The British, actually, when people jump and commit suicide on train tracks and stuff, they'll actually say, someone's jumped and died on the track. That's why there's a delay. They're just shoveling up the arms, and then we'll get you on to your next station.
And hopefully nobody will die tonight after you perform some comedy in Vancouver, Jason.
Oh, if I could use the press. If I get at least 3 people to commit suicide after my show, especially in this city, it would be a big help for my
Where
career.
are you performing? Is that at Yuck Yucks?
It's at Yuck Yucks down on Burrard Street.
And it says, quote, you have arisen, Jason, from Vancouver's punk purgatory. How long did you live in Vancouver? Were you performing at the Cobalt? What was Vancouver's punk purgatory?
Oh, I did shows at Town Pump, 93 to 96. 96, I started doing my first shows in comedy clubs, but 94, I was hosting after-hours nights that were punk bands and stuff would play in these warehouses over by Science World.
And is that when you did develop the hatred for the drummer for Chilliwack? Why do you like the drummer for Chilliwack?
Well, I've always wanted to be a roadie for Chilliwack. And then I got into Loverboy, and then it changed my life.
We bonded together over Slayer, Jason. I must say we bonded over Slayer. How I got into Slayer was inadvertently through local musician Mr. Plow, who helped me interview Slayer, and he actually worked at the Cobalt for many years as the doorman, and he performs as Mr. Plow as well. And he attended my Slayer interview, and that's why I thought maybe you did some Cobalt comedy, because I guess the Cobalt took over after you were doing all those warehouse things.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Cobalt scene at all?
No, I did. A lot of my friends' bands have played there in the past. These are all bands from the 96, and Bloody Worm and Subversion, Muscle Bitches, and I can't remember, Box Cutter, Minority, were all the kind of bands. But the Cobalt thing, I think, started to kind of materialize after I left in 96. But we used to go down to, the Old American and Ivanhoe and places like that. The Niagara, which I heard the ceiling had collapsed in, but we saw a lot of great bands there.
And you were Jason Rouse performing comedy tonight at Yuck Yucks in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Yeah, you search Slayer interview on YouTube, and yours goes right to the top. Your interview with Slayer. And what's really impressive, the most about your interview, I think, Jason, aside from being really funny with Slayer, is you actually go into the slam pit. Like you were actually in the pit.
Yes.
A Slayer pit. I mean, that is every kid's dream, to be in the pit with Slayer.
It is. And the
thing is, it's not just like any gig, is it? This is like at the Reading Festival, the biggest outdoor mosh pit, muddy mosh pit in the world.
Oh, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Now, how do you go from the mosh pit at Reading to auditioning for Lorne Michaels? Did you audition for Lorne Michaels, or is that a joke?
No, that happened kind of by accident. I was involved in a memorial show for the late Phil Hartman in his hometown of Brantford, and Lorne Michaels was brought in, and Dan Aykroyd stuff. So Lorne saw me off of that performance and had me come down to New York a couple of times to showcase for the casting people. And, yeah, it was cool.
Now, I was curious, I guess you didn't win the audition. How do you win an audition, or how did you lose an audition? Because I also noticed Jason Rouse performing tonight at Yuck Yucks. You auditioned for Tom Green.
No, I did some shows with Tom. When he got his MTV deal, he did a show at the Rivoli, and there was a lot of stand-ups doing stand-up comedy, and Tom's audiences are like, it's like trying to read poetry at a Gwar show. It's stand-up isn't going to fly for that. So I did a sketch about a male prostitute that had allergic reaction to jism, and I drank a bunch of Ipecac and vegetable beef soup and threw up off the end of the stage. And then Tom came out and put his fingers down my throat, made me puke more, and then put his vomit-covered hand in his mouth. And yeah, it was fun.
Did you audition for a movie? Because I was thinking, was that for Freddy Got Fingered? Because Leora, you saw Freddy Got Fingered.
I saw Freddy Got Fingered, but I was also thinking, Jason, this is great because today is the 100th anniversary of UBC, and I feel like we are really promoting that whole, the educational initiatives as we hear about some of the achievements that you've had in your life.
You want to hear some of my achievements?
Well, I think we're hearing about them.
Getting out of Hamilton has been a big achievement.
Well, but hang on. Hamilton is the home to McMaster University, and pretty much everybody who goes to McMaster, everybody from the SCTV cast, and then they went on to take over Hollywood.
That's true.
And how about yourself, Jason? I noticed you're on a P1 quest. You're on your P1 quest, like there's P2, that's like a visa to be able to go and play rock and roll in the States, but that's a P2. But for a P1, if you can prove you're an exceptional talent, you can actually have residency in the States, and you have some of these P1 letters up on your website. Did you win in your quest for P1 residency to show you're an exceptional musician? Now, I know people in Vancouver have got a local musician, Carl Newman from the New Pornographers. He has a P1 because the New Pornographers have demonstrated that they are exceptional. But how about yourself, Jason Rouse?
I've proven myself as an exceptional alien, I think is actually the title, which is kind of nice. I didn't know I was exceptional at anything.
How about when you were a judge on The One? Were you really a judge on The One with Erica?
I was a judge on Pop Stars The One.
Was it with Erica M. and Paul Myers? Leora's good friend, Paul Myers.
We're on Facebook.
A gentle, lovely man.
He is. Are you one of his friends on Facebook?
I might be.
I am, so maybe you and I are connected that way.
We should connect.
Okay.
And again, you are Jason Rouse performing tonight. Performing comedy tonight at Yuck Yucks. Now, Jason, people have some choices tonight. They can go see you, Jason Rouse, tonight at Yuck Yucks, or they can see Andrew Dice Clay or Ron James. That's who you were up against.
Andrew Dice Clay and Ron James.
That's who you're up against. Have you been up against them before?
What a more mixed bag of nuts can you? Jason Rouse, Ron James, and Andrew Dice Clay.
All in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Some with their careers on the way up, some careers idling, and some on the way down.
Ba-boom! So why should people go see you?
Because I am an extremely talented individual.
And who is Eric Costin, and how did you hurt him?
Eric Costin's a pro skateboarder from Girl Skateboards. He happened to, a friend of mine brought him down with the team. There was a contest going on in Mississauga, the West 49 contest. Brought the team out, and I'm used to skate back in the day, and always been a big fan of skateboarding and culture. And I had him come on stage, and I posed naked with him, and the tour manager took a picture, and it became part of the logo for his new model, which was kind of cool.
Wow, it has a happy ending. I thought it might have had a sad ending. Do things usually end with nakedness? Because I was reading a quote from you, Jason Rouse, and we're speaking to Jason Rouse performing tonight at Yuck Yucks, from 1999. And this is you in 1999, Jason. You in 1999 saying, quote, "As for the penis stuff, I've only done that 3 or 4 times out of 800 shows." This was in 1999. You'd only done it 3 or 4 times out of 800 shows. Can you take us up to date now in 2008?
Now I'm doing my Gigi Allen tribute show at closers now, where there's shitting and crying, and it's funny.
So
very funny.
Is the penis stuff over? And I notice in England it isn't over because they call it wobbly bits. You take out your wobbly bits.
My bits are wobbly. I don't know. They're a bit like it hurts a little bit sometimes.
How have things changed, though, for the references? Because in 1998, you were talking about Susan Powter. Does she still play into your act at all?
Oh my God, that's so long ago. Yeah, no, I used to do a gesture, and my opening line was, "I look like a cross between Mr. Burns and Susan Powter," because I had bleach blonde hair and an overbite, and I do the pose. Yeah, Susan Powter. Wow.
Do people know who she is now? Do you still use that?
Not our age, but anybody under the age of 30, I don't think would have a clue.
And winding up here, Jason Rouse performing tonight comedy at Yuck Yucks in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow.
Up against tomorrow and tonight, up against Dice Clay and Ron James.
Now, where's Dice? Is Dice out at the River Rock or one of those places?
Yes.
He's doing the big rooms, Jason. Don't worry about that.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I like being anonymous and people actually coming out and see something different.
Yeah, and you're like right on Burrard Street, like right in the heart of downtown Vancouver. So you're in the right room.
Now, what's it like doing comedy in England? Because I saw clips of you and there's people like with ties in the audience. Is it weird doing comedy with guys with ties in the audience?
That's their fashion is very extreme. It's either like really over the top or very quite conservative and corporate. But the comedy scene there is exploded. It's massive. It is the new rock and roll in Great Britain.
How about the Groucho Club? Have you performed at the Groucho Club or any of those exclusive clubs?
No, you have to be a member there. And I don't know if they do actually performances there, but some friends of mine are members there. But it's like a Jude Law kind of...
Oh, hang on. Can you drop some names of some of your friends that are members there? That would be a great name drop.
Dave Fulton.
Keep going.
American comedian Dave Fulton.
Frank Van Keeken?
Pardon me?
Frank Van Keeken.
Members of Coldplay?
Ooh.
How about Winehouse or Doherty? Have they come to any Jason Rouse gigs?
Lily Allen? What about Lily Allen?
No.
No?
No, but what's his name? The wife of the singer of AC/DC was at my show.
How does everything translate from Canada to England and in the punk persuasion? Like, I've heard of Jello Biafra going over there and doing his spoken word for 4 hours.
He did. He was performing at the Glee Club the week before I was there, which sucks so bad because I've never heard him do his spoken word, and I'm very curious. I've seen Rollins, and that was stellar. I was very skeptical as a comic and seeing somebody, but he did 2 hours. And I was there.
How would have you done opening up for Rollins? How would have Rollins' audience liked you?
I think they would have liked it. I think so. They're anybody that's kind of an alternative music and well-read, I think. But sometimes Vancouver audiences can be, you would think would be like that, but at the same time they can be hypersensitive to rape.
And we have to have some props out right here to Manolis for getting us all in touch. Manolis from Hamilton,
Isn't he
Ontario.
A wonderful man, Manolis.
Manolis, he mails clothing to me. He hooks me up with you, with Deborah Giovanni, with Sabrina Jalise. He is just incredible. Manolis, props to Manolis.
Zantanos. ILoveManolis.com. Who doesn't know?
Well, lastly here, Jason Rouse performing at Yuck Yucks tonight. In Vancouver, we have many great comedians like Shecky Gray.
Yes, Cliff Nesteroff.
Cliff
Good
Nesteroff.
friend of mine.
And
we went to college together.
He told me he was heckled on a bus in Toronto. He was heckled on a bus, and then he was heckled by a Degrassi kid. Is that...
Oh, yeah. At the Gladstone, I was there, and I saw him get spit on, too.
Now, what's it like getting heckled by a Degrassi kid?
Oh, my God. I don't know. It's a combination of laughter and rage all at the same time.
Hugh Fakowski broke his leg, local comedian Hugh Fakowski broke his leg doing stand-up.
And he has that on YouTube. Did you know that? You can actually see him doing that on YouTube.
Hugh Fakowski breaking his leg. Have you experienced anything like that at all, Jason Rouse, performing tonight at Yuck Yucks?
There's been some violence on occasion. I don't really encourage it, but if it comes to that, it can be violent. I don't like it.
Well, thank you very much for phoning into the Nardwuar to Human Serviette radio show here today, Jason Rouse, performing tonight at Yuck Yucks and tomorrow at Yuck Yucks. It's Jason Rouse from Hamilton, Ontario, now living in... How long are you going to keep living in England, you think?
Till October, and then I'm moving to Los Angeles.
Really? For more auditions, stuff like that?
Just to get my television and film career off the ground. I looked at it this way, like Canada was a good college. Britain's Ivy League university, and now I'm going to go graduate and show off all the things I've acquired over the last 11 years doing my craft. And make some money.
Well, thanks so much, Jason.
Take you on a holiday.
I would love to go with you.
Where would we go, Nardwuar?
Well, probably to Reading, to the Groucho Club, probably to check out some of those interesting locations.
You know what? And this is an open invitation. I'm doing Reading and Leeds Festival in August. I think it's the last week of August. And if you'd like to make your way out to Britain, I'd be happy to get you a media pass to come and hang out and just, you don't have to even work, just come out and see music.
Oh, I'd love to. That would be amazing. Thank you so much for the invitation, and thank you, Manolis, for hooking me up with Jason Rouse. Thank you. Thank you, Manolis. Thank you. Well, why should people care about Jason Rouse, Jason Rouse?
Sorry?
Why should people care about Jason Rouse, Jason Rouse?
Because I am the second coming.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Jason Rouse. Keep on rocking in the free world and doot-doot-a-loot-doo.
Doot-doot.
All right. See ya.
Aye.
International Women's Day, Saturday, March 8th, 2008. Women of the world unite against war and poverty. The day begins with a march leaving from Thornton Park near Main Street SkyTrain Station at 11 a.m. and a rally at 12 p.m. at Victoria Square on Hastings and Canby. Later that evening, join us for a celebration in solidarity with women around the world at Trout Lake Community Centre, 3350 Victoria Drive, with music, poetry, dancing, and more. All are welcome. For more information, please contact 604-780-7604 or email iwdvancouver@gmail.com.
The following is a live presentation of CITR News.